Yo, what's up, everyone? As you can see, we are back with some league racing, but this time around at Indian Racing Community, that is the IRC. And yes, this is the new season. I think this is season 8 of so
चलो गुड लक
F1.
हैव फन
So, and this
फ्रॉम माय
time we'll
साइड
be driving a Mercedes. So, I'm not a huge fan of driving the Mercedes. I actually wanted the Red Bull, but some people were quick enough to get
ऑल्टरनेट
the
स्टार्ट
Red
अरे
Bull,
मैं
so
क्वालिफाइंग
that's fair.
ओह नाइस
So it spotlights out and away we go. We had a poor start and Aditya had a better start. I think it was Kim Rai who actually touched us, but we almost saved that over there. But never mind, we had a no screen, so that's all right. We lost
व्हाट
some
द हेल
positions, but
सीधा
we,
पुश किया
we
भाई
we can gain it in the race. So the first lap is all about surviving, and we did that well. So yeah, and coming down to the turn three, there's already some chaos going on ahead, and we see Kim Rai and
कारमा
one of the, I think both of the Williams crashing. So we got like three positions in a single span, and yes, we are ahead in P5. So net position gained is one. Now we have Aditya ahead who is on mediums, the alternate strategy, and it was quite important for us to clear him as going further in the race. Our softs will be quite faster than his mediums, and we are already closing on to him. But we see that a McLaren
ओह
spun
ओके
on the penultimate corner, and we got another position. So we are in P4 already at the end of lap one, and without any DRS, we are still closing on Aditya, and he goes wide. And now we can
आई
go
हैव टू
tuck
क्लियर
into his
दिस गाय पहले
slipstream, and with the use of some
ओके
ERS, maybe we can just overtake him in this lap as well. Now, after turn 3, he gets a really poor exit and we get a relatively good exit. So, using a little bit of ERS, we just move ahead of him. And yes, that's P3 right now.
Okay, DRS is now available.
So, start of lap 3, and we see that we were the quickest car on the track. And
Green
we were
flag.
already closing on to the Ferrari who's in P2 right now. And you can see visually that we are already closing the gap to him. And with the help of DRS, it's just a lifesaver for us to close the gap. So now without any ERS, we can only with the use of DRS can close the gap to the Ferrari ahead, and we have already gained like 5 tenths on him. So now the gap between us is like 3 tenths, 4 tenths, and sector 2 was like where my setup was too strong, and I think I gained a lot of time in sector 2 and 3. But on the straights, like after turn 1 and turn 3, I used to lose a lot of time. So yes, the fast corners were the place where I used to gain a lot of time. And now with the DRS, we are still taking it easy behind
The car
the
behind is
Ferrari.
dropping back by
And
about three
now
tenths a lap.
maybe we look over to get a move on him. But going into his slipstream now, we are like gaining on him. But we slow down a little bit just to get the DRS detection. He goes a little bit wide and he had a really poor exit, but you see now we show him the dummy and we just move and go around the inside and overtake him around turn 4, and we are
Great
easy
maneuver.
into the
You made
P2
it look
now.
easy.
लेट्स गो
So now our target ahead is Abhi, who is really quick driver. And coming down to the end of lap 8, we will
Check your
just skip it
MFD
to
for
the
a new strategy.
part where nothing happened, and there's a safety car. So yeah, Abhi just crossed the last corner, and I was fortunate enough to be going into the pit lane just after the second last corner. So
Good
that was a
time
good timing
for the
for
safety
us
car.
to pit. But there's a twist. Actually, Abhi wasn't
Ah,
caught by the safety car. So yeah,
even in
the
5 laps,
things
no,
got
bro.
balanced,
Safety
and
car, let's
it
go.
wasn't like a free stop for us. So yeah, that actually balanced out the race, and I thought we had a significant advantage by pitting early. But now you can see here at after the turn two, the safety car is on track and it didn't caught the leader. So GG to that, and yeah, coming down to the end of lap 12 where the safety car will be in this lap, and you can see Abhi is in P6 with the fresher mediums, and between us is a McLaren of Unleashed who is already on older mediums. So we had to clear these cars as quick as possible. Now at the start of lap 13, we are already into his slipstream, and he doesn't go for the racing line, and I just tried to go for the switchback, and yes, it was a successful switchback with the grip tire grip that we had on the fresher medium tires compared to his 12 laps old medium. So uh, we are net P2 right now. If
No way. That guy is cutting the edge.
so lap 14, there's another McLaren who is on older medium tires. So now we are like closing the gap on him, and with the help of ERS only, as the DRS isn't activated yet. So we will be closing the gap to him, and you can see how quick we are on the corners, because on the straight line it was balanced out, and yeah, uh, we were we had that grip to just close the gap to the compared to the older medium guys. So it was significantly easy to catch them on the corners, but
This
overtaking
guy is
was quite
slow.
difficult, and we just had to play the patience game here, so that he would make a mistake or something, and we just overtook two spun cars in a single lap, and we are like what P6 now, and he gets a really poor exit. Our front wing touches rear tires, but we managed to stay safe with those front wing, and yes, now if you can see on the bottom right, okay, so there was no
Moving.
damage
Okay.
luckily. Now skipping to the end of lap 15, there's another safety car, and we were in a dilemma whether to pit or no, but
Safety
we had
car
already
again.
pitted for the mediums, which were like what 5 laps old. So at this point, we thought that the mediums can
ठीक है
go till
भाई.
the end of the race, including the 3 laps under the safety car. So yes, we took a gamble and we stayed out, and we did what uh, Abhi did. So yes, and now at the end of lap 17, the safety car is in this lap, and you see he is moving and he just pulls away, but he slows down again, and that was
भाई ये
really
गलत कर
really
रहा है
risky,
बंदा.
because there's like 13 cars still on track to really close, and anything could have happened, considering this game gives a heavy penalty to have a collision under this safety car. So now it's straight fight between me and the Red Bull ahead, of Abhi, and he weaves a lot on the straight
There's
to
been
defend the
incident on the track,
slipstream
but officials aren't
we
looking
could
to push
get
for a
from him.
safety car right now,
But
so
that's
just be
fair.
careful.
If we aren't close enough, he can do that. So now at the exit of turn 3, he goes on the inside line and just goes on the outside, that is the racing line, to defend his position. Lap 19, I've seen a significant pattern in his driving. He used to cover the inside and go on the outside on his racing line again. So I observed the pattern for the to make my move, and again at on the lap 20, he did the same thing, but this time around we had some assistance from the DRS to close the gap. So yeah, lap 22, and this time we are very much closer to him, and we just get the DRS detection, and we use the DRS, ERS, and the slipstream. We go on the outside, and he just leaves us enough space, and we tried to go around the outside, but that was quite difficult. And you saw that his lights were blinking. I mean that he was out of his ERS. It would be around 0 to 10%. So we know that we have an advantage with the ERS right now, as his lights were blinking and he's low on ERS. So it would be helpful just to pull away after we overtake him. And now again we get the DRS. Just stay calm behind him. Into the turn 1 we go. He goes wide, and he really gets a very bad exit out of turn 1, and with the help of DRS and slipstream we are just closing on him, and we lift up a little to get the DRS detection again, and now is the perfect chance to overtake him with everything set with the DRS, ERS, and slipstream. But now we decided to go on the inside. His ERS lights were blinking, and there's a collision. I
Oh my,
really
what happened?
braked late there. It was my fault. I agree, but the I couldn't turn because of his front right and my rear left contact. So let's see what the stewards have to say about that. But we didn't give up. We kept our head down and just pick up whatever place we can get from here now. And there was still like 13 laps left, and anything could have happened. So in a span of like 7 laps, we closed down a gap of 3.5 seconds to Freeman, who is on the same aged medium tires as mine. So at this point, we were like 22 laps old medium tires, which was on a knife edge to finish the race, because our tires were like 40, 45, or 50% wear. So we just had to keep it clean and not spin around. And we managed to overtake him before the turn 3, but had a really bad exit going wide. And Freeman gets the DRS and passes us very easily. We leave him enough space on the outside, and he gains the position. But we had the pace, but the thing is, in the sector 1 there are just so many DRS to close down the gap, and to pull away from these guys it was quite difficult. So you need a significant amount of advantage to just pull away with those tires. Now lap 32, and we are side by side again with Freeman, and we overtake him at turn 1 itself. He goes a little bit wide, and we again manage to stay ahead this time. Skipping to lap 34, and Now we are still ahead of two Williams, but the Williams of Freeman had a really old tires as us, and Monterio was on pressure medium, which were like 8 or 7 laps younger than us. So he had that pace advantage, and Freeman just dives down the inside. We just leave him enough room, and due to that awareness we had, we avoided a crash. But going down side by side into turn 4, turn 5, we managed to overtake him in the sector 2, which was quite tricky to just overtake him. And now both the Williams are charging behind me, and both of them having a significant advantage with the DRS they had. So Freeman already had 3 seconds penalty, and you can see that he led by Monterio to overtake me. So there was some kind of team game going on there, which is fair enough. I completely agree with whatever they were going through, but that's okay. That's okay. And now everything comes down to our defensive skills. So he gets the DRS again. The gap right now is 4 tenths, and you can see he's closing on us. But we don't use any of the ERS, and we just managed to restore our battery uh, in sector 2. We had around 50% of the ERS just by slowing down and lifting up a little bit around the corners.
This is your final lap of the race.
Now at the exit of turn 1, he is 4 tenths behind us. We do a little bit of weaving to avoid the slipstream advantage he gets. So that was fair enough. And now we had to bring our inner Checo Perez just to overtake, just to defend the position. So we stick to the inside line, and we give him enough space on the outside as well. He was just side by side, but we managed to stay ahead of him and using all of the battery on the final lap. And you see how crucial the battery saving was. The car in P2 had 6 seconds worth of penalty, and now on the worn out medium tires coming down the penultimate corner and the final corner, we are into the P2. So that was a good result coming for the first
P2,
race.
come on, let's go.
And after the incident we had in between, that was a good recovery we had.